plenty of concerns, questionings, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's go. Yep.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Mama said there'll be days just like this one. Yep, that's what she said. Come on. Yep. The good, the bad, the ugly. No doubt. The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, the good, the bad, the ugly, the cons and pros of it, what to look for as it relates to coaching, what it looked for as it relates to just the individuals this team have to incur as it relates to what you're going to do in the draft. It's draft season time, baby, now. Draft time for your mind, baby. Shout out to you, Anthony. Shout out to you, Ryan. Appreciate you for jumping in. And I posted like earlier, they was talking about, let me know if y'all like this right here. I got something. Y'all like that one? Or, it could be worked on a little bit. What about this one? Y'all like that one better? I got a little graphic mind to you, At least something is improving over here. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Oh, my goodness, man. Let me know if y'all like that. If not, I can change it around and switch it around. But neither here nor there, Cowboy Nation. What should we do? What should we do as it relates to this team, as it relates to the philosophy and the scheme versus system? Because the con part of changing everything out is that it will be growing pains. It will be a situation where you got to wait to see what this will look like going to the future. Or, Cowboy Nation, it'll be a situation where you yourself will say, all right, you see what's going on over there in Rams land? And don't talk about salary cap and salary structure. No way. Let's not do that, Cowboy Nation. Because if you want it bad enough, you'll go out there and get it. And none of this stuff as it relates to cap space and everything would matter. Rams wanted to get Odell Beckham. 2 tears in the bucket. They went and got it. Rams wanted to go get Von Miller. 3 tears in the bucket. Pluck it. They went and got him, They needed Jalen Ramsey. Oh, let's just do some wholesale changes. Let's go get him. Bring him. There's a risk versus reward philosophy. But what do you do with that? So here's my thoughts on everything. Shout out to you, Milton. I'm going to have to read that one a little later on, But here's my thoughts on everything, Cowboy Nation. The cons versus the pros. If you say to yourself, okay, this is, and I'm not advocating or I'm not saying that you want to fire somebody. knee-jerk that thing all around. But here's my thoughts. How many years Mike McCarthy been here? Let me see that in the chat. How many years Mike McCarthy been here? And I'm going to wait. And I hope you guys are following me as we break this down. It's a year and a half, or pretty much 2 years now. 2 years too long to establish your system, your philosophy, right? Have you seen enough of the inconsistencies as it relates to time management? Can you say to yourself, hey, when you think about it, Law, just hear me out, Law. If we're seeing this problem now, here we go. If we're seeing this problem now, it's going to be presented itself later. Right? I had to ruminate. I had to ruminate a little bit while I found my background music. I love y'all. All right, so 2 years too long, right? Nina, he said 2 years with Cowboys. It literally takes sometimes 3 to 4 years to get your ground up under you straight. And we're not finna go back and forth or talking about how long it would take for you to wash off all of the Jason Garrett. Would you rather say, hey, you know what? I'd rather deal with the devil I know. I would rather have Jason Garrett these past 2 years. Let me see. Would you rather have Jason Garrett right now? Let me see. Appreciate you, Jerome. So now we weighing out Jason Garrett versus Mike McCarthy. Some will say they both more of the same. I've literally had people to put down in the chat. Mike McCarthy is just a bigger Jason Garrett. You know, not to use the man weight for an example. He's a bearded, bigger Jason Garrett. And I say, nah, it ain't the same, baby. It ain't the same. Close, but no cigar, right? You know, somebody put down neither. You know, when the coaching survey tree came around earlier before we got Mike McCarthy, I was saying, look, man, let's go out there and get the guy that went over there, Urban Myers, over there in Jacksonville Jaguar land, right? Thank God they didn't listen to me, right? Look how wrong I was. Right? Can you imagine if we had Urban Meyer over here? Shoot, where Urban at, man? Oh, man, he in Uptown, baby. Nah, man, I heard that, shoot, he got him a squeeze over there in Prosper somewhere. He at somebody's house. Oh, my goodness, man. We dodged a bullet with that one, right? You got to find a reason or a situation. How can we improve of where we at right now? Stephen White says, don't worry, y'all. Mike is good. Bring back Jimmy Johnson. This is from my guy, CFAP. Well, the new car is always the prettiest car, right? Jason said, Ohio Strip Club. Romo for head coach would be awesome. This is from Tyler. Appreciate you. Here's the thing far as Romo for head coach before we click this segment here. Oh, my God. Yeah. Mario Taylor says, hold judgment until. Literally, he says until we see him call the plays. But let me say this. It's still too soon to judge Mike McCarthy because that will be a situation to say to yourself, if you judge him just based off of
Great season, Law. I've been here since draft day and couldn't imagine this season without this channel. I look forward to this off season with the nation.
Ooh, Jay Carter, appreciate you for the donations to help elevate the nation. Yeah, appreciate you. Jay Carter, thank you for that. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. It's way too soon, like Thomas Garrett said. It'll be a knee-jerk situation because we have yet to see Mike McCarthy under the capacity of not with Kellen Moore and his system. Juxtaposed to we would like to see Kellen Moore earn his own grain of salt somewhere else so we can get a fair assessment from him as well. Look, here's the thing. That's why when we looked at like the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahan's, or what have you, they didn't have the short time space, or the Zach Taylor, whatever the coach over there in the Cincinnati land. They didn't have the short resume like Kellen Moore, right? Kellen Moore had the shortest of the shortest resume. And let me just break this down for a quick second for everyone. Look at the rapid promotion from being the backup quarterback, less than a half a year removed, inserted to being, dare I say, the quarterback coach. From the quarterback coach to the offensive coordinator. From the offensive coordinator to now being interviewed for head coach job. Now, he can pretty much, I'm talking about Kellen Moore, be a genius. I'm telling you guys right now that 5 to 6 years from now, he can be the greatest coach ever, right? But it's too soon to even judge him because of the situation and that this is only his 3rd year as the offensive coordinator going into his 4th year. A lot of people will look into that and say, hey, it'll be a knee jerk to move on from him. But here's the thing. We went through growing pains before. Law, where are you coming from? Well, we had that experimentations for the nation when Jason Garrett was promoted from being a quarterback coach, from a quarterback coach to being an offensive coordinator, as an offensive coordinator getting paid as the same as the head coach, which pretty much smeared and sullied the mindset and pretty much made Wade Phillips like, I really can't move my weight around here, right? Because you got somebody else on the staff that's getting the same amount of money, remuneration as I am. My voice is being split and divided. I don't know if he's covering up plays or not, right? And we saw a piece of that this year. That's just how crazy it goes. But if you follow the trend, Cowboy Nation, clearly Dan Quinn is not going to sit back and say, all right, I'm going to watch Mike McCarthy get the axe and they elevate Kellen Moore as the head coach and let me be the defensive coordinator. No. I'm going to go out there and interview for the jobs that's out there. You got Chicago, you got Jaguars, Texans, you got Broncos, pretty much Broncos flying in today to interview good old Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn, right? And one of those questionings there, and I know you guys been in that seat before, tell me about a time you was put in a difficult situation. And what did you do to overcome that? Y'all remember that interview question? Tell me about a time you was uncompromised. You was put in a situation that you had to overcome. What did you do? What were your results? You think those boys going to be batting for each other? One of those times, that boy Chris, what's good with you, man? He said, whoever is our next OC is need to utilize our stars, adjust accordingly. to the good defensive plays. I agree. All right, so that is what we are up against. So Mike McCarthy, he can look at this situation and say, hey, I didn't have enough time. You sent me out here to help out basically on the offensive side of the coin because you felt like you had the star power enough. But I didn't get a chance to get my feet into the ground yet. And I know for sure that somewhere in the deepest of the hearts of the conversation that I'm bringing your boy on a long way, Kellen Moore. Because if not, then Mike McCarthy would have hired Ben McAdoo, somebody that he knew, before Kellen Moore. Let's see what we got here. Shout out to you, Billy Bob. Can we trade more? No. And also, we got to look at it like this, Cowboy Nation. We got to look at it like this. This team still looks like the Jason Garrett team because of Moore. And that's not a bad thing nor a good thing. It got to be a neutral thing. Because you don't see anything to change on the offensive side of the ball, which is more recognizable. However, Cowboy Nation, the defense, we can really see that the defense changed. The defense really, you can see the imprints, the fingerprints, the thumbs and everything of Dan Quinn. The evidence that he was here from the defense. But everything on the offense remained the same. Now, let me know where I'm wrong. Because before Dan Quinn got here, we didn't see turnovers. We didn't see those things. But since Dan Quinn is here, we seeing turnovers. We see DBs turning their head around to the ball. We've seen people from the previous administration making plays on the ball, a la Anthony Brown, for crying out loud. But let's flip it back over to the offense. There's nothing new that we've seen with this offense. Now, I banged on the chest, and if anybody want to blame me for it, because unfortunately I get the blame. Like I control the outcome of the game. I can't make this stuff up, Cowboy Nation. I get some of the blame because I said that they was at the start of the season that we're going to see more of the utilization of the uniqueness out of this offense. 5, Damian says we have to stop. It's the definition of insanity. The Cowboys are just the best of bad teams. That's it. We have to like the Jets fans right now. You know, laughing out loud. We act just like the Jets fans. Shout out to you, 5, for the 5, too. Here's where you're wrong. Yeah, Johnson, it's my fault, by the way. It's my fault from what I heard out there on the streets. It's my fault. It's Law Nation fault. Man. But let me get into details with this, Cowboy Nation. Here's why we're not the Jets. And I said this and I touched a little bit on this. Before. What is success? Is it relative? Is success subjective? What do you consider a successful season? I come here to tell you, baby, if the Jets went 12-5, they'll be having a parade right now, down through New Jersey, through New York, all the way to Washington, down all the way to Miami and come all the way back up. They say, man, we 12-5 with a young quarterback, with a new defensive with a new defense, I meant to say, with Robert Saleh and his head coach philosophy being 12-5. Whoa, that's a success. Lamont says, bull sugar. McFatty got to go. The game has passed him. Passed him by, baby. Man, I hate to say it, but Harbaugh brings physicality and will run the pee out of the ball. He said bull sugar, though. Shout out to you. Bull sugar. Yo, here's the philosophy within that, Cowboy Nation. Here's the philosophy. If you think, if you say that success is not subjective, right? And I say it's relative. And we were 12-5. We swept our division, and we were one and done. There was a stat line that every home team in the playoff won their opening game. One can argue the level of competition from our division, just not that great. And now that's bull sugar. Can you imagine if we played over there in Green Bay land division? How much y'all would be still saying, hey, man, that's the weak division, right? Now, my brother Ryan, who y'all thought that was me when I posted the video, shout out to him for beating us, right? Shout out to the 49ers. I can't stand y'all. But I come here to tell y'all beautiful people right now, just hear me out. Don't shank me with the butter knife like I said earlier in my video. Hear me out. If you pick up Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard and you put them, just keep the offensive line the same. Keep everything else the same. But I'm just talking about the star-studded players, not even the offensive line. And you pick up, matter of fact, yeah, we'll do that. If you pick up our offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, and you just pick those guys up and you put them on the 49ers. You mean to tell me that the results wouldn't have been the same? And we had Elijah Mitchell, and we had Hastings, I believe that's the backup running back over there. If you pick up Deebo Samuels and you trade, well, not trade, but you just pick up Deebo Samuels and put him on the Cowboys, and they got CeeDee Lamb and they got Amari Cooper. So you mean to tell me everything would have been, we won, we would have been running through them, we would have utilized Deebo Samuels with 10 rushes in the backfield for 72 yards? A third of you guys right now would be like, God dog, I can't stand Deebo Samuels. He keep dropping the ball, and he can't get separation. Y'all hate Deebo Samuels over here in this particular scheme or system. Let me know where I'm wrong at. Y'all would be literally sitting there saying right now, it's not fair. It's not fair for the 49ers to have Elijah Elliott with the PCL tear running all through us. And Tony Pollard. We wouldn't know what to do with CeeDee Lamb motioning into the backfield. And then all of a sudden you see him line up in the slot with Amari Cooper now on the outside. Oh, my goodness. You say this is not fair. I don't know, Ryan, if you're in the chat, would you deny those guys? Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, my goodness. And Cowboy Nation. I have to say this. If Dak Prescott was on the 49ers and we had Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, do you think we'll hold a better chance? You know, Ryan, would you take Dak Prescott right now over Jimmy G? You know? Oh, my goodness, I probably won't get a straight answer from most of the people right now because Dak Prescott is what's on the bottom of people's feet right now. I know, you know, it's just what it is, right? There will people will think about that, but it's something about systems. It's something about balance, too, con versus pros. Look, and I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is this guy. And I'm not being an apologist for Dak Prescott, by the way. But what I'm saying is, every quarterback need a little help. I'm not finna go into the game saying I'm gonna throw this ball around for 43 times just because you're getting paid $75 million. Newsflash. The reverse effect can be the same. If I'm paying a running back $90 million, I'm making sure he touches the ball 20 to 25 times a game. Why are he touching the ball that many times? Because he's getting paid $90 million. That's not the case, nor the situation, or the scenario here. I recall John Elway. God dog, boy, you done wrote a whole essay, pigs. Man, good grief. Appreciate you, pig. I can't read all of that. But I would tell you guys, I witnessed John Elway win 2 Super Bowls back to back because they made some simple changes. Wholesale changes, by the way. Running back, legitimate tight end, defense. Defense. They didn't say, John, we want you to throw that thing around 43, 50 times a game. No. That man old. He got yellow teeth at the time. They put things around him so that he can get the balance back. They knew that he can win games, but they saw what happened 10 years prior to him having a little help, that he got his butt blown out by the Washington football team, formerly known at the time the Redskins. That boy Chris, offensive schemes and identity is the key point blank. Y'all be sure to hit that like button and share this content before I hit this audio. And if you're watching all the way to this point and you have not,
shame. Shame. Shame.
All right. And I'm not saying Dak Prescott is John Elway, by the way. I'm going to get that. Law is saying that Dak Prescott, I knew the Cowboys are delusional. He's saying that Dak Prescott is better than John Elway. Matter of fact, Law Nation is over here preaching that John Elway can't hold Dak Prescott chalk. Matter of fact, Law Nation is saying that Dak Prescott is better than Joe Montana. No, I'm not saying none of that. Follow along with me, Cowboy Nation. Follow along. You find a system to complete your quarterback. I saw the other night, and my guy, let me see what my guy, let me pull it up. I want to be accurate with it. I want to be so accurate with it. Give me 1 second here. our guys, we be having this conversation. And this be good conversations with Skywalker, Vach Lombardi, and Foots and Okoye. 15 throws. 15 throws. 15 attempts. Stafford got 15 attempts of throwing the ball. What did they do against the Cardinals last night? My goodness. Y'all let me know. All right, so neither here nor there. Let me see if I can find this audio. Appreciate all y'all beautiful people for watching and tuning in to the nation. So here's my guys, Sean and RJ from 105. I know you guys probably already heard it today. Here we go. And shout out to Mark Holmes. Appreciate him as well. Be sure to check out him and Joe Boo Sports Report.
Okay. For Mike McCarthy. We can do it back and forth. We can create our own list. Let's go back and forth. And the Autoflex eSIM fan text at 877-881-1053. By the way, Vegas, bet online. Will McCarthy be the Cowboys head coach week 1 of next year? Yes is the slight favorite, minus 150. No is plus 110. Jerry Jones.
Hey, before they go, shout out to you, number one. The results of the game last Sunday is reflection of bad leadership. Kellen Moore is not ready to be a head coach. Before I give a fair assessment of that, if he is and if he will become a head coach, there will be a lot of growing pains. Whoever the organization is, they have to put pieces and things around him so that he can go through being who everybody think he will be. And keep in mind, this is only his third year as offensive coordinator. The man got many of time for the development. Also, for those who's begging for Sean Payton to come over here, Cowboy Nation, I got to give this to you guys. It's like waiting for Beyonce to become free. It's like waiting for her to have the divorce or to break up with Jay-Z. It's only wishful thinking until we hear news and noise about them separating. You just wanting and saying, hey, I can't wait for Beyonce to break free so I can shoot my shot again, right? That's exactly what the guy that took Beyonce to the prom probably saying. He's saying, hey, I was the one that took her to the prom at least, right? And the Saints are sitting there like, yeah, but I'm Ray J, as it relates to Kim Kardashian. I hit it first, So that's the reality of it. It's not going to happen until the New Orleans Saints say to Sean Payton, although you the guy that won us our first Super Bowl and got us out of wearing trash bags over our head, we're going to depart from you. It's not happening anytime soon. So let's take Sean Payton off that list. Now, there is a situation, Cowboy Nation, that you can trade for coaches. I'm thinking that the Patriots traded for Bill Belichick.
Pressure, if he wants to keep Dan Quinn, starts today because the Broncos are coming to town to interview Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore back to back. But let's write it down. The big board in Frisco in the big fancy meeting room. Give me the first pro for Mike McCarthy.
Is this a blackboard, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go.
I don't know if he has any pros or cons. Let's see. First,
you don't know that he has any pros or cons.
Right.
Is that a good thing to say about your head coach? That doesn't sound like a good thing to say.
It's not a great thing. I don't think it's a bad thing or a great thing. I think it's a nothing, just like a head coach. pro aggressiveness.
I'm put that on the blackboard.
By the way, Autoflex is a fan text.
Thanks.
It's a good one.
Thanks.
Hey, ho, y'all like aggressiveness, you know? Let's go.
Burden.
Cowboys hit the over by
Let me
3
send the
games
email.
and lost a 1-score playoff game. If this isn't entitled, nothing is.
What? Say it again.
The Cowboys hit the over by 3 games
Okay.
and lost a 1-score playoff game. If this isn't entitled, nothing is.
Okay. Well, I mean,
No, like the Cowboy fans like freaking out. The thought that, it's
because they're not stupid. That text I disagree with. Who cares about hitting the over?
well, it means you exceeded expectations quite a bit.
Cowboy fans know that they're inflated because of the East. You have to figure out if you're a real contender. And a 1-score game, they were lucky it was a 1-score game. They got whooped. Everyone knows that they watched it. That's what happens when you just look at a number at the end of the day. Everyone knows they got dominated, and they were lucky. They were gifted a chance to be in it. So that's what I would say back. Was that 337?
It's already gone. Yeah, I think it was that.
All right. So I agree with you on aggressiveness, but my con is inconsistent aggressiveness. Might change. He changes. He changed during the season at times with his 4th down decisions, and he changed on Sunday. Now, I liked the first punt when it was a 16-point game deep in your own territory. I applaud him for that. And all I do is kill his decisions like that. I applaud McCarthy. Take advantage of your punter. Your offense can give you confidence. They were pinned on their own 7. You got the ball back. But
Do y'all like when someone is aggressive? Do y'all want the aggressive mentality? Is that a con or a pro? Now, they saying the inconsistency of the aggressions is a problem. Now, for many of moons before this administration got off, the previous administration were super safe. And they would do aggressions. They would do aggressions as it relates to being aggressive on certain plays every other week. Like, for example, 4th and 1, I believe, against the Texans. They're like, nah, we moving the ball easily, but we don't want to go for it. Let's punt it away. And we got ragged on it because I think we lost by a point or something. This was many a days ago when we played the Texans. And then the next week, when you're supposed to not be aggressive, they were started to say, okay, we're going to be aggressive because that's what the media said that we should do. I think someone just posted, appreciate you, Lance Bell. He said smart aggressions, not emotional ones, basically. That's something to ponder.
But I just
What
want
was the one that you didn't like?
Well, the one I didn't like, they got away with San Francisco allowing the fake punt.
Oh,
So they did go for it. I hated that they did it with a fake punt, even though it worked. I'm not going to be results oriented. For San Francisco to fall for that's coaching malpractice from Shanahan.
yeah, I don't care
But
for
it
the
was-
fake punt either.
Huh?
I don't care for fake punting it either. To me, if you're going to go for it.
But to me, San Francisco should have obviously known that was coming. We all knew they had to go for it. And if it gets broken up or it gets defended, then we're murdering McCarthy even more yesterday for doing something obvious versus just have his offense out on the field.
Yeah, if you're
they got away with that.
Right, if you're going to go for it, go for it. I don't like the fake punt. Although, the fake punt, it is.
I don't care if it's like 4th and 11 in a different,
Yeah.
in a non-obvious situation. You can catch people off guard.
Absolutely.
All right, so I agree with that. All right, give me a Mike McCarthy con.
I think a con for him would be accountability is the wrong word,
I
but
think
like
great word.
deflecting blame.
Yeah,
Deflecting blame.
great word.
Okay.
Accountability.
Accountability.
All right.
I shun accountability because I refuse to hold myself accountable for anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're allergic to accountability details, so you don't care about coaching or the head coach.
All right, so you guys heard me say this 4 or 5 weeks ago when they complained about the refs. I said, okay, leave that to the content creators. Leave that to the fans. Leave that to the person Joe Blow down the street to yell and complain about the officials. Because what happened here, or believe it or not, if only the man on top, if Jerry Jones complained about the aficionados, let him go. Let him go off at the gums and bump the mouth about the officials. But the coaching staff nor the players should ever say, hey, man, we lost this game due to the fact of the officials. Maybe one time, but if you say it every single week, it develops the mindset. It develops the mindset, a defeative mindset that you're already playing up against the officials, even though you're right. Because the opposing team is not going to have that in their minds. So now you're over analyzing how you're going to block, how you're going to make sure that you get to this point, that you turn your head right versus playing the game naturally. And when they talk about accountability, when somebody mess up, coach need to get on them. Whether he used, and I love the mind. Think about it. Parcells used the media, flipped it on them. Jimmy J. I'm thinking Jimmy G. I'm gonna be thinking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Y'all charge it to my head, not my heart. Lord, forgive me, please. I prayed, so Father, please forgive me. But Jimmy Johnson used the media to motivate his players. Whereas Mike McCarthy takes the beta male role, not even alpha in that, and say, well, he mumbles about it. Somebody should have been getting their butts handed to them with the false starts. Somebody should be getting chewed out live action, when it's an unnecessary penalty. Holding is a mental process. You could call holding in every game, right? But it's also a mentality of saying that I'm getting my butt whooped, and my last result is to reach out and touch and pull somebody on the ground. Instead of looking at the officials, it's kind of like running a stop sign, and you're angry because they got stop signs too many in that particular neighborhood, when the fault is on you.
Next pro.
It's your turn. You're on the pro.
Okay. I think this is a pro. Egoless in terms of the coordinators. Out of the way. He got out of the way. When we asked all the insiders this year, what did he bring? What was his biggest benefit or contribution? And Nick Eatman and others, he got out of the way. He didn't have to interfere with Kellen, even though Mike's an offensive guy. Let Dan Quinn get all the shine. Bones Fossil. That I give you props for. Now, on the other side, someone would tell you, multiple people would tell you in the organization that that's laziness. That it's not totally unfair to call Mike McCarthy lazy. I'm telling you what I heard from training camp and even repeated yesterday. Hell, I think Broadus tweeted it. Like, this is why Broadus ain't scared. I think Broadus tweeted, yeah, there's a thought that, like when I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, what's up with the offense? This person told me, Mike is not dying to lend a hand. He's letting Kellen die out there.
Yeah.
He's letting Kellen. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's what I heard. But I've heard from multiple people that maybe Mike's work ethic is not as high as what some other people are used to. So staying out of the way, while it's a good thing from an ego standpoint, I don't know if it's a good thing from if it's a work ethic standpoint when he's like, go ahead. See you later. Go do your thing.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Okay, so egoless.
Yes.
All right, so my part on this one is my point. Shoot, I can't even talk today. Collecting my thoughts. My point on this one would be this right here, Cowboy Nation. If you seeing someone struggle, it's okay to see them struggle. Because that will be a coaching. Sometimes coaches have to coach coaches, believe it or not. But my problem is, if you seeing someone struggle, and you know for sure that they would not put out this fire and the whole house burned down, then dog it, go over there and put out the fire. And one of the biggest mistakes that I can see from both Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett, is that they didn't take over. They allowed the stuff to fester and the fire to create and spread and continue to spread. We were banging on the table. Hey, Jason Garrett, you the head coach. You see that Scott Lanihan is not doing the necessary and the proper adjustments. Go over there, snatch the clipboard away from him, and you call the play. Because we remembered Harbaugh. I don't know if it's Jim or John. Keep forgetting their names. The one over there in Ravens. He saw that his coach were not drawing up the proper plays. And he said, you know what? Give it to me. If this team is going to go down, it's going to go down on my watch. I'm going to fall on the sword. He snatches the playbook away. I'll call the play. God dog it, And I believe they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Now, I can only speculate because I don't know as far as Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. But Mike McCarthy, and I know this is only his second year, if he is seeing things that's not up to par as it relates to play design, as it relates to winning the game, of adding a little juices into it, he should have went over there himself and said, give me this playbook, Kellen Moore. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit beside the quarterback coach. I'm looking at this sheet right here. Dak Prescott, he got a 27 QBR right now. Amari Cooper, he's only been targeted for the entire game 7 or 6 times. And CD Lamb, he's getting less than 5 targets. And we got a running back right now that's averaging 5.5 yards per tote. And the first time you give him another tote after the first one was in the third quarter, no way. I will call the plays. And if we lose on my watch. Not nobody watch, but mine. Y'all ain't hearing me today on that one. That's what I would do. But if it's about self-preservation and it's about saving my rear, and I'm looking at it just to collect a check, I'm pointing fingers. I'm blaming everybody but myself. I'm using everybody as a scapegoat. I'm looking at it like this. By the time I retire, I'm going to squeeze at least 10 to 12 million from Jerry Jones. He's giving it out cash. He's giving away money. Big money. I like it. If that's my angle. But if I'm trying to win it all, I'm calling the plays. If I'm trying to win the Super Bowl, I'm using all the resources to say, hey, man, at the end of the day, I'm the one falling down on this sword. Why did you lose, coach? Man, I didn't get a chance to develop the best plays for this team. Oh, my. I tried everything, man. I had players that said they refused to play guard and they wanted to play tackle. And I listened to them. No, bull sugar. I'm the coach. I'm going to put you right where you supposed to be at. Yo, big butt, I'm moving you from tackle to guard. I'm inserting the young guy, Terrence Steele, at right tackle. I'm finna get it out of the mud. We may lose, but dog it, I want you to roll over some of these guys. We changing the pace. Ezekiel Elliott, you got a PCL tear. If I'm the head coach, and at the end of the year, my training staff or my, what do you call it, the J Form, who do you call that person? The medical staff say, yeah, by the way, coach, we held this against you, but your running back had a PCL tear on his knee. Oh, man, we finna move some furniture around here, bro. Baby, we finna move some furniture around here. And I'm telling, just like this, you mean to tell me that this brother is out here with a torn knee and y'all trying to play hero ball? And you got a healthy running back, Corey. Even we got a guy that can't barely see. The other back, Hardy, whatever his name is, what's his first name? And we got Tony Pollard. Y'all should have arrested that guy 4 weeks ago. And it would have been better saying Ezekiel Elliott, bump that 1,000 yards you're trying to get. We trying to win the Super Bowl. Lo and behold, it would be better for Ezekiel Elliott to rest 4 weeks. And this past weekend would have been his first game back. If you think I'm lying, look at Cam Akers. How was he running? Jaquan Hart, appreciate you. Jake the Great, more got to go, Law. Right. In so many words, that's what we were saying. In so many words, more have to look into this thing and say, hey, practice was good. Zeke, come talk to me right quick, man. Zeke, what's up, coach? Zeke talk. What's up, coach? Looking at these routes and stuff you're running inside the splits here. You kind of favoring that knee. You all right? Yeah, coach, I'm all right. This is what we're going to do, Zeke. We're going to rest you for 2 weeks or 3. Nah, coach, I can go. I'm a warrior, coach. I'm Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities. I'm Ezekiel. Okay, I'm going to put you out there. Poor sugar. I got my reputation on the line, you know. Zeke, I love you, baby, but you're going to have to rest for a couple of weeks. Coach, you know you're wrong. Nah, I'm coach. You player. Blow the whistle. Lineup would be Tony Pollard and Corey Clement, Ito Smith. And then we would have had a fresh Ezekiel Elliott against the 49ers. Somebody got to get fired. That was me. I'm coach, and y'all didn't give me that information about Ezekiel Elliott's knee. Now, not to pick on Ezekiel Elliott only, but the mindset was, is coach being lazy by allowing his compatriots, his staff, to do their jobs, and he sit back and watch? Coach is supposed to coach coaches. if I see a problem with Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott apologies, leave me the world alone when I say this. But if I see a problem with him coming out of his stance, 1, 2, 3, the ball got to get out of there like it's on fire. I don't care if it's an interception. That what Bill Parcells said, right? You get that ball up out of there. 1, 2, 3, get it up out of there. Stop holding on to the ball, Tony. Tony, I need to see 2 interceptions in practice. I need to see it. That's what Parcells told Tony Romo. Can't be overanalyzing the situation. I had somebody to put down in the chat earlier. Dak Prescott was great on his way for MVP until the last play of the Patriots game. I couldn't debate him with it. I couldn't argue against it. But Coach Mike McCarthy should have been sideways with his foot so far up Doug Nussmeier's you-know-what that Doug Nussmeier got Coach Mike McCarthy toenails as his teeth. When he said, hey, I looked at this situation, my quarterback, 1, 2, 3, step drop, that ball's supposed to be out to CD, or hey, not the guy to the man on the moon, nor to Amari Cooper that's supposed to be killing his routes. Coaching need to get in there and start coaching. But if he's sitting there saying, hey, Doug Nussmeier, what's the report? What's the status on Dak Prescott? Is he developing in this particular situation? Is he better on this route? Why in the hell we can't overcome cover 2? What's going on? And Kellen Moore, don't you know when it's cover 2 or when they're playing in pass defense, it'll be a good time to make a counter play to run the ball against pass defense. Why are we throwing it into the teeth of the defense? And why are we running 21 slam? That's coaching going on right there. It's supposed to be hot and toxic and where everybody is sweating saying, man, coach got it to me this day, baby. All right, y'all come on. Let's huddle up. Let's talk about this. Is that going on? Christopher Thomas, shout out to you, man. That's a mighty name. Appreciate you. Quinn was able to make adjustments throughout the year, and also in game, Kellen couldn't do the same. But who can we get that's better? Are you talking about, shout out to you for the donation, Christopher. But are you talking about as it relates to a head coach or a defensive coordinator? Who can we get that's better? We need somebody with some fire. Some of y'all ain't going to like me in here, but that's how football is. It's not, oh, hey, man, you all right? We got to get them better next week. No, it's some hard spitting talking. It's some hard spitting talking. It's some cuss words that's going about. It's in the face. But in the public, you all button up. That's what it's about, man.
All right, my next,
but that may in the con category be laziness, maybe.
All right,
next.
My next one is going to be, and this is weird because I don't know if it was a lie to get the job, but I'll use analytic friendly, so or adaptability or
does that go with aggressiveness?
Not necessarily. No, because I think there's a lot of aggressive coaches that are not analytic guys.
I thought analytics was aggressive.
Well, yes, but like I'm talking about I'm beyond just the aggressiveness. I'm talking about
that's calculated
the
aggressive.
way you run your franchise from the top to the bottom, from the personnel to positional value to the way you pass, run pass ratio, that stuff.
Okay.
All right, so you're talking about ratios and using analytics and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll find out. Dre82 says, make Tony Romo your offensive coordinator. He would have to go through some growing pains, by the way, and he would have to make the necessary adjustments on relating to people. It's just like this. It's just like this. When Dak Prescott got the position to be the quarterback for the Cowboys in 2016, one thing that he got or had over Tony Romo is that he communicated with everyone. Romo never did that. Romo had his crew and his group of guys. If you think I'm lying, ask Jerry Form that's in the chat right now. He had his crew and he didn't speak to everyone. So I'm not saying that if he become the offensive coordinator, that he will only speak to a few guys and not speak to everyone. But there will be a growing pains. There will be situations where he have to overcome. And if anything, Tony Romo, in my opinion, will be a better defensive coordinator than he is an offensive coordinator, because it seems as if though when he's calling the game, he knows exactly what defense they're in. And think about it. For the years that he's been here, he said just before he retired, everything slowed down for him. Everything was just like in slow motion as it relates to seeing the field. But his body was gone. Now, that could be a series of other things, too. There could be a series of other things, and I'm not finna go down that road. But his workout regimen wasn't the same as others. I'm just saying. But neither here nor there. Shout out to Tony Romo. I think he's getting paid $18 to $20 million sitting in the booth. And Candace Romo is winning because she don't have to hot tub him. And she don't have to say, baby, you're back all right? She don't have to say, hey, they all talking about you for calling a bonehead play. Why? Because at the end of the day, when you calling the game, you definitely don't have a win nor a loss situation. You just been exactly neutral, supposedly. But back to the coaching staff that we have here right now. The cons versus the pros. Right now as we speak, there's a divide about the coaching for Mike McCarthy. Want to know how I know? Jerry Jones didn't come out with a reigning endorsement saying, that's my coach. That's the guy that I believe that can take us to the Super Bowl. He said it for Jason Garrett. But you do hear a reigning endorsement from John Stephen Jones, the son, saying, hey, absolutely, Mike McCarthy will be here next year. Shout out to Ken Art, appreciate you. After a miracle of Dan Quinn this season, if we let him go, we're absolutely nuts. Well, besides all of that, appreciate you, Ken Art. Here's the situation. Dan Quinn is going to be given an opportunity that he can go to his wife, his kids, if you have them here, and say, hey, Minnesota Vikings offer me an unbelievable situation where I could be back the king in my own castle. Broncos pretty much want me too. You like Florida? Well, I can go down there to Jacksonville right now. They probably want me. Chicago, New York, the Texans. Ain't nothing like, man, we can go back and forth, talk about money and all of that stuff. Shoot, knowing the money that I make now, if I stay at mom and them house, boy, shoot. You can't tell me nothing if I go move back with mama. But there's something about having your own, baby. It's something about being able to go use that restroom with the door wide open. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about if you never stayed by yourself. It's something about with the whitey tighties without the shirt on. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and me checking the refrigerator to drink some cranberry juice out of the container, it's my house. Dan Quinn can't do that now. He can't. It's up to Jerry Jones to sweeten that deal, make it so sweet. It's up to Jerry Jones to do that. To say, hey, man, I know you got this offer right here, but I got this remuneration that will make you feel like, hey, even though you can be a king in your own castle, it won't trump this right here, whether it's under the table or whether it's straight up. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing like being a king in your own castle. My mom can call me right now and say, babe, you can come on back home. You don't have to worry about that mortgage. Look, you don't have to worry about a car note or none of that stuff. You just come live with me, baby. You, your wife, and kids, y'all just come live with me. I'm like, Mom, I love you. But your house only got one master bedroom. I need my master bedroom. I need my suite, baby.
Okay. My next pro is going to be players coach. Like Mike Lombardi made calls. Whatever you think about Mike Lombardi, former NFL GM Odyssey said he had heard like.
Pauls, appreciate you, man, for the donation. AJ says, what's the chances that we can get Sean Payton to come back as a head coach for Mr. Jones out of Dallas and our Dallas Cowboys? The breakup got to happen first. Appreciate you, AJ. But he got to break up with the Saints first. Somebody said, man, I'm going back to Mama and them house. No. Somebody, I see y'all in the chat talking about bang, bang. You can't be doing bang, bang at Mama house talking about Nana gang. You can't be bang, bang. Let me behave. Let me behave. Now, some of y'all disrespectful because y'all be bang, banging. Oh, let me get back on page, baby. All right, hold on. Oh, man, king of his own castle. All right, come on. Yeah, somebody get it. Circulate Wealth says, Mama got rules. I'll never forget, man. Oh, my goodness, I'll never forget when you go off to college, you realize that you off in college, you've been semi your own person, your own man. So you go out partying, you go out clubbing all night, and then you try to, like on the weekends, you go back and try to go back to Mom and them house. You be trying to get in the door lock. You be like, whoa, wait a minute. And you forgot. Mama got rules, man. You might as well stay being out. Baby. And don't let it be grandma's house. Shoot. Grandma's house, you can party and club all night. You can be chilling with the boys. You come through that door at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Shoot, she's still hitting you on the back of your neck. Get up. Grandma, what's going on? Get your butt ready. You got to go to Sunday school. You going to Sunday school and church, hungover. You be like, man, God, dog. I can't wait till communion time comes. Maybe at least them crackers will sober me up a little bit in that little piece of juice. Man, you still have rules, especially at grandma's house. Let me know if I'm lying. You can't be partying all night thinking you going to just sleep the Sunday through. No, you got to get her. Yeah. She be slapping you like I be telling people to lean forward. But my grandma be like, get up off that bed. Put them church clothes on. I didn't bring my church clothes. Where granddaddy got a suit in there, wear his suit. Wear your brother's shoots, slacks or something. Oh my gosh, man. Jake the Great says, Kellen Moore, the collective of plays. Yeah, oh my gosh, man. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the collective of plays, man. Appreciate you, Jake the Great, for the donation. Christopher Thomas says, Kellen is a good coach. Just can't match up well with other good coaches. Wish he could trade Kellen Moore like players and get something back in return. Low key, you can actually trade coaches. You didn't know that? You could trade them. We got another donation over here. Appreciate y'all for the donations, man, to keep this thing going. Appreciate you. Greg Green live stream says the NFL offenses have evolved past Big Mike. Quinn likely gone, so time moved from him. Mike got to go get Eric Bieniemy. Mike is here for at least another year, believe it or not, and I like the mind of Eric Bieniemy, but I don't think he will be the head coach over here anytime soon. Let's listen to these guys.
4 or 5 weeks ago, the Cowboys don't practice that hard.
Shout out to you, Carl.
And yes, maybe you think of that with the final play execution, not knowing the rules, Dak handing it to the wrong person. Veteran players, I mean, they like that. A country club mentality. I'm not saying they don't work hard. I think Mike, he comes across as a nice dude, gets along with the players, a player's coach.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think that's a positive. My next con for Mike is game management. And I know that there's a lot of coaches who have problems with game management. I think McCarthy is near the bottom or worse than all of them. I just don't trust him in terms of a clock decision, figuring out the rules, those types of things. The clock, all the things, all encompassing in terms of game management. But worse than that, and I can put a slash. What happened with these penalties, never getting that fixed? And again, it's an age-old question. Is it on the players? Is it on the coaches? Is it on both? I mean, the discipline on this football team, you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. That makes a big con for Mike McCarthy in that category.
I'm not going to argue with the discipline aspect of it. It's hard for me to say who it's on.
I agree.
It's really, really difficult to say. Is it on the player? Is it on the coach? And
but that goes. I think I have more of a problem with the accountability thing than the penalties. I don't know if he can stop Anthony Brown from holding on a play, but when after the game, you blame the refs instead of what y'all did. I have a problem with that, and that's why I'm starting to have a problem with Dak Prescott, because he is adopting Mike McCarthy's inaccountability, if that's a word. Point the finger somewhere else.
Yeah, those guys from 105.3 The Fan. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Here's the link so that you guys can check it out. I just posted it in the chat. Be sure to click there to watch the entire interview or the entire excerpt of them talking about the cons versus the pros of Mike McCarthy. Now, I know a lot of you guys keyed and laughed when Tolo, turn it on, leave it on. Shout out to everybody. I know a third of you guys or some of you guys was laughing when some of our fans were throwing items at the officials, like they needed to get hit. It's chaos to me. It's not acceptable. And it's a trickle down from what the coach states and what the players' frustrations, and they do things like that. But not only that, some of the material or the content within those water bottles were aimed and hit on some of the officials. DeMarcus Lawrence got a hit. I think some other guys got hit. But also, the cameraman got hit. The cameraman just sitting there, can you imagine going to work, filming the Cowboys game, watching the Cowboys getting beat down? You just doing your job of filming it. And you get hit up across the head with a water bottle or whatever they threw out there. It wasn't his fault. He just filming. He's hit in the crossfires. That's a representation of the Cowboys. We are seeing more and more things like this happening. Newsflash, none of that stuff existed 26, 27 years ago. Oh, why? Because the expectations done change, frustrations. I used to dog Philly fans out for something similar. Things like that. But now we done scooped all the way down. Collectively speaking, because I know not one is for all. But we had bad spells like this before. And as great as Tom Landry was for this beautiful organization, we only got 2 Super Bowls out of it. And I'm using it only as loosely as I can. What I'm trying to say is, Cowboy Nation, the mindset of the people is changing right in front of us. Yes, winning cures all. But right now, I said it's success relative. But we are becoming so selfish and so whiny that even in the 12-5 year, we crying and complaining, because I want to say the other word it will say all right, being and moaning about being 12-5 because we greedy. And we'll throw articles at the officials for losing the game in the playoff. We would challenge a player's family because they got a penalty. Shoot negative content at them because we feel empowered that we can do such because that person didn't perform well in the game. We supposed to be a team, and I get it, the 4-letter network. I wish we can send out a letter to them and saying, hey, can y'all cease and desist? Can y'all stop talking about the Cowboys when they out of the playoff? Right? Look, there should not be a topic about the Cowboys this week on First Take, Second Take, Third Take, Undisputed. There should be a letter to them saying, hey, man, they're not in the playoff this week. Can you stop having topics about them and focus in on the Rams, the Cards? The Cards that got off. Can you talk bad about the Cards today? Because millions and millions of people are hearing the accident waiting to happen. What can go wrong will go wrong. Millions and millions of people are hearing the Cowboys will choke eventually. And is only fixated on one team. And those people are feeling empowered to speak to these players as reckless as a Stephen A. Smith, as reckless as a Shay Sharp or a Skip Bayless. Spoiled, yeah, entitled fans. Yes, Thomas. Yeah, spoiled, entitled. That's the word I was looking for earlier. And they feel that it's comfortable to call people fraudulent. They feel that it's comfortable to try to yell at people and say that it's propaganda when I call out the truth. They feel that it's right to spit upon and mock the players and not saying that, hey, this is a brutal game that they play. It's sad. It's flat out sad. Entitled Cowboys. But right now, man, don't y'all know 12-5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars? They will be sitting there like, oh, baby. Woo! Thank God. Hallelujah. Maybe the good Lord himself will say, hey, these people, let me start sprinkling some blessings their way. They don't feel privileged. We sweep the NFC East 6-0, right? But the way we handled our reactions, they still laughing at us, even at the bottom. Look at y'all still choked anyway. Big deal. Continuity is what we need to establish, Cowboy Nation. Rapport. That's the pros of keeping Mike McCarthy. The con would be if you snatch the rug out from under his feet and not allowing him to exemplify his coaching status and philosophy, then we in the same spot again, once again. Now, granted, there could be greener grass on the other side. But what Jerry Jones got to do is say to himself, if you going to pull the trigger on this man, pull it now. Don't hesitate. Don't deviate. If you feel that if somebody else can take this team to the promised land, to the glory side of things, then you do it now. Don't drag this thing out for a whole year. And every time, man trying to do his job, you over his shoulder. Micromanaging. No. Let him establish his program. And if this is last year, let it be a solid. Let him coach. Let him bring in. You know, that's what made Parcells hot. That what made Parcells hot. Parcells already had a mindset what he wanted to do with this team, as far as a disciplinary type of situation. And he was boiling hot when Jerry Jones stood in front of him and said, you know what, we're going to still get Terrell Owens. Now, Terrell Owens was good for us, don't get me wrong with it. But he already had his mindset, and he didn't want to really get him. I think that he didn't even call him Terrell Owens. He called him the player. Because he already had things, and he was like, man, that one year, I'm just going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Come on back for one more. No, I'm good, dog, you know. Because it's nothing like when you're working and you can present the things that you want. It's nothing like that. But you got somebody over your shoulder, man. You're like, man, come on, man. Here go Jerry, man. Dog. All right. He going to sit down in this meeting. Yep. He let Kelly Moore fail, Law. Yeah, there's some Darryl. Yeah, I agree. Look, that's the conundrum part of the whole conversation. Mike McCarthy, he didn't snatch the playbook from Kelly Moore to showcase his talent, to say, okay, this is why you brought me in, right? To fix this thing. The defense is fixable. You brought me in to fix this thing. He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, right? That's what we were all saying, especially me. And we didn't get a chance to see that man whisper, right? We for dog sure seen Dan Quinn whisper to the front four. We for dog sure seen Dan Quinn. There's an excerpt right now, I think that one of the beat writers submitted on Twitter about how Dan Quinn worked and utilized Parsons. Y'all ain't feeling me though, you know. So that's the conundrum. So continuity and rapport. Will Dan Quinn step up and say, all right, Stephen Jones, you got my back. I'm gonna showcase you. I'm gonna showcase what you got before here, what you brought me in for. Ben McAdoo is already heading to be an offensive coordinator in Panthers land, right, for an interview. So undoubtedly, there could have been talent there. All right, Cowboy Nation. Y'all want me to keep going or get up out of here? Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Lake 455 says same stuff every year. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Keep going. Shout out to you, Nobles. Keep going. Appreciate y'all, man. Great show. Appreciate y'all. Open up the phone lines, Law. I don't have that much time. Oh, I don't have that much time, Darryl. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all, man, for watching this show, man. I really do. Let me see what they say over here. Hold on right quick. Oh, I got to pull out one thing. I got to show this one right here. Bear with me one time. Because, do me a huge favor, Cowboy Nation. Do me a huge favor. Let me know. Please let me know. Please let me know this right here, Cowboy Nation. Your top 5 or your top 10 draft guys. For the 2022 season. Also, Cowboy Nation, pay attention to what Duke Manyweather said. This is from Ja. Has Dallas focused on the wrong type of lineman for the offensive line? I think they tended to like more finesse guys rather than maulers. Thoughts? This is from Ja and his son. And Duke Manyweather. He responded, and this is very, very important for you guys to understand. I think their O-line coaching / development has failed them since Callahan and then Pollock left. Your offensive line mindset is the identity of your team. They do majority of the work, Cowboy Nation, and get none. And I mean just that, none. None of the credit. None of the credit until years after. They do all of the work. Big Nate Newton probably be millions of years before they say, okay, man, we're going to let you into the hall, bro. But Emmitt Smith know who he is. Y'all know who he is and what he brought to the table. The mindset, man, of this offensive line. The mindset of this offensive line is everything. And we talked about that. Jay Form been banging all in the chat. Banging all in the chat. The team have not been the same since they let Callahan go. Not Lanihan, but Callahan. Everybody need a hand. Jordan Jackson says, Big Jordan Davis from Georgia, that will be my first film assessment. Big boy pushing, big body, can't stop me. But this is where this team, collectively speaking, of what Duke Manyweather was saying about the offensive line. Let me just go back to it, and I'm going to put his response in the chat. This was his response. It's in the chat. Y'all see his response. I said at the start of the season, the offensive line is the only unit that all 5 of those guys must be on the same page. Not one thinking about coming on the page, not the other saying, hey, I'll be there tomorrow. Write this down. Old folks say we must be singing from the same hymnal. If you're from the South, you know what I'm talking about. Those books, there was 2 different books out there. Lift every voice and sing. will be on page 469 on one book, and then the other book will be on page 113. So I want you to turn to the hymnal. Lift every voice, then sing. Y'all not feeling me. It'd be such a delay because people looking, which book you got? What page? 469. Oh, well, not in my book. It's page 100. I'm paraphrasing the thought track there. Jay Hunt, Mike probably will be back next season. But if you keep doing the same thing, expect different results. It's a recipe for insanity. This is from Jay Hunt. Yep. You're right. But this offensive line, Cowboy Nation, you won't do nothing without it. I don't care who you are. If you don't have those boys on the same page or singing from the same hymnal. It made Zach Martin look horrible. Him laid out like Family Guy in this past game. Why, Law? Why? Because he's trying to help Tyler Biotish. He's overexerting himself from the false steps of La'el Collins. And I don't give these pretty, sexy terminology. I'm just giving you the terminology from what I interpret. Because I'm not an offensive lineman. But you listen to the OC, he would tell you of what's going on. But dog it, I got a chance in a situation to bump into Duke Manyweather. And he told me, this is what this guy can do. This is what this guy. And I'm not saying that Duke should be on the Cowboys staff, but he runs and operates his own offensive line clinic. That all of the players from other teams go to visit him. What's the guy? His name is at the tip of my tongue for the Eagles. What's his name? One of the top offensive linemen there. I think his name is Lane, something like that. He goes to Duke Manyweather. The other guy that he got from Landon Dickerson, he goes to Duke Manyweather. La'el and Terrence Steele go to Duke Manyweather. Lane Johnson, appreciate you, Shelton. So when this guy opened up his mouth, let me see if I can pull it back up again. Here we go. Hold on. One of these chats over here. Let me pull it up. Not that one. Got to be one of them. Let me see if I got that. Here we go. When Duke Manyweather opened his mouth, people need to listen. I don't think, Cowboy Nation, that Lane Johnson would go and get training from him if he didn't help him. I don't think if Terrence Steele say, man, Duke can't help me, I ain't going to him. But he go to him. Anyway, that's silly, right? No, he's teaching and he's developing and he's training those boys to fire off the ball. So when he opened his mouth about Canahan not being here in Pollock, that helped the development of the guys that was here, but hurt the development that the guys that's still here now. I think that lo and behold, the Cowboys should listen. And when he said that he felt the conversation that I had with him, and he said that he felt that it's going to tarnish and it's going to hurt Terrence Steele moving from right tackle this year. He meant it. And when he said, I don't care about what y'all are talking about, going back and forward about whether or not La'el Collins is a tackle or a guard, but when he said, yeah, Collins will fit right in at guard, That's his trainer. Who would know more? Because these guys pay extra money to go see him. I digress. I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. So, for the 2022 season, the Dallas Cowboys, before they talking about sprinkling whispered thoughts about Amari Cooper, before they try to bring in, and they bet not, or if they do, we're going to be talking about that, another wide receiver in the draft or anything like that, they better get this offensive line right. They better. Before they talk about anything else. And we would know everything they talking about as it relates to Amari Cooper. Because somebody need to right now, before this week come out, to say, hey, those rumors are false. Amari Cooper is here to stay. We need to hear from Cowboys.com to hush out all of that crazy stuff. You don't think that they get back to him? We the only organization to say, hey, it's time to get rid of him. It's time to get rid of them, you know. They need to have somebody to say on one of those shows, hey, you know, Cowboys announced that, man, Amari Cooper is part of the plan for next year. But if they let this fester on and on and on, come on, man, that ain't the right thing to do. You put out fires. You don't keep it going for views and the click sensations. You put it out. And you stand tall and bold and say, hey, that's my guy. That's my wide receiver. We ain't worried about anything that the outside noise has said. He's part of the program. He's part of the plan. No, it's no let those whispers continue to be whispered. And dog it, what's going on with all these whispers? And that's the same thing about the coaching staff. I'm to the belief right now that all of those interviews that line up for Dan Quinn and all of those interviews line up for Kellen Moore, and don't try to knock me down when I say this, Cowboy Nation. Man, that dude was thinking about those things before that game. I'm going to the Super Bowl, both of them. Them guys wasn't just locked in. If that's the situation, Ryan, I see in the chat. Our team's reaching out to Mike McDaniels, your offensive coordinator there. Talking about as soon as he leaves, we want to bring in Mike McDaniels to be the head coach. Focus in. We got to go on this road. We got to beat the Cowboys. Law, you don't know what you're saying, man. You speculating. Those boys was all drawn in on beating the 49ers. They can do too. Shoot, I don't know about y'all, man. I'll never forget when I got that interview for the government job. Shoot, the job that I was working that day, it can wait. I got bigger things I can think about at this government job. Shoot. Y'all think I'm crazy? I was working at a call center. Thank you for calling Comcast. My name is Law. How can I help you? Yes, sir. What you got to do is unplug the router. That's okay. Oh, and count to 10, and then I'm gonna send you a refresh signal. Government call me up. You think thank you for calling in to Comcast. My name is Law. How can I help you today? Can I assist you with something? Can I have your first and last name, sir? Yeah, I'm pulling up your account now. Thank you. Yes. Oh, it seems as if though your account balance is over. Let me transfer you to the billing department. All of that stuff went out the window. I'm finna get paid some big money over here. Catch y'all later. Adios, alida la raza. You know, I hung up the phone up so quick. Yo, you got an offer interview for the U.S. government. I ain't gonna tell you which department, but shoot, I said, thank you for calling Comcast. Sir, I'm gonna have to transfer you to my supervisor, sir. Appreciate you. I'm so sorry. Hung the phone up on here. Oh, whoo! Oh, let me get my mind straight. This is salary changing type of income, baby. They said the interview was 2 weeks from now. The whole 2 weeks. I'm sitting here like, shoot, I'm trying to look up interview questions. I'm trying to call people who already got the job there. Hey, what I need to do? What I need to say? Make sure you have this on your cover letter. Make sure you have these wordings right on your resume. Although they have a copy of your resume. Hey, I already have your transcript ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I wasn't thinking about Comcast. Now that was many years ago, SG. He said, congratulations, Law. That was many of years ago. Almost 12, 13 years ago. But shoot, I wasn't thinking about Comcast, I can tell you. You think Kellen boy... Oh, buddy. Y'all wonder why y'all was on hold. If it was 13, 14 years ago and y'all called into Comcast and you had a guy by the name of Law. Thank you for calling Comcast. My name is... Why you wonder why you was on hold so long? Shoot, Law was trying to get those resumes together, man. Those questionnaires and those answers together. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Oh, buddy, all right, y'all, man. Yeah, I done said too much now. There's somebody right now on hold right now for their Comcast. They said, man, that person must got them a good job on the way. Oh, I'm through, baby. Oh, my goodness, man. Boy, I used to be killing Comcast, boy. Baby, if you ever in Jackson, Mississippi, and the call center, it was me. I was there. Oh, my goodness. I used to kill it, baby. Yeah, they call that line, boy. They said, man, can I get that guy again with the deep voice? I used to put it on him, too. I can't stand Comcast. Thank you for calling Comcast. My name is Lawrence. How can I help you? I can hear in the back, effing Comcast with my bill so high. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. Let me see what I can do for you. Oh, I'm seeing credit on your account. Oh, it's about $30 worth of credit. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send a technician out and I'm gonna credit your account $30. No worries. And the dude be like, hey, yeah, Law, yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah. No worries. I see a special promotion, HBO, Cinemax, just on the house. I will go ahead and put that on your account. But be sure in 30 days, make sure you remove that because they're going to cost you. You know, it was 90 days or something like that. I used to put that voice on it. And don't let it be a lady, baby. She'd be like, by the way, what are you doing? Comcast, you pick up calls from Florida. And you're in Mississippi. Oh, my God, boy. Comcast was something else. But neither here nor there, Cowboy Nation, man. Scorpio said, Law, tell me the secret for free cable, man. That's one thing I only miss about Comcast. If you work for them, you get free cable. You get free internet and everything else. And I think they had the home security at the time. But Cowboy Nation, it was a pleasure talking to y'all today, boy. Oh my goodness, man. He said you scaring me, Law. Appreciate you, man. All right, man. This is the end of the show. I really appreciate you guys. Be sure to hit that like, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to the Law Nation Comcast show. You know. But the cons and pros of it, you got to establish continuity. And what we need to see from Mike McCarthy is this right here. You got to step up. Now, I don't know if you could pour alpha male into him. Either you're an alpha or not. You know, a wolf pack is plenty of beta. But if you knock out that alpha dog, the alpha wolf, rest of the pack be like, you know what? We gonna go ahead and go. Our leader just got knocked out. Where the Cowboys got to stop being soft mentally and bring forth that alpha mentality. They got to make sure that the opponents that they see for the 2022 season, that they ready, they locked, loaded, and establish that presence. One thing I can tell you, at least from what I was able to see with my natural eyes, Quinn at least established that on the defensive side. And it seems as if, though, he will be gone for the 2022 season. Maybe it'll be Joe Witt Jr., Vic Fangio, and Jerry Wayne Jones. If you want to lift that Lombardi trophy, you got to let these coaches coach. That's the reality of it as well. Because the puppet and the puppeteer, they got a unique relationship. But the thing is, the person that controls them is in full control. You got to snatch out those things that's controlling you. And yes, put Jimmy in the ring. You know what? That's my brother Ryan from a whole different organization. Understands the importance of putting the man in the ring of honor. Let that sink in, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Don, why you got me laughing over here? Don on my Facebook, man. You got me, look, you just supposed to have me laughing right now, man. I'm supposed to be serious. Don, I can't even repeat that, baby.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, I be thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I be feeding to the end. Crib outside the city, I
Thank you for calling Comcast.
Took so many
The name
years,
is Law.
I was
How can I
waiting
help
for
you
the wins.
today?
I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins.
Oh my goodness,
I do
man.
it for real, there's no reason to pretend.
Peace.
If I do it once, I do it again.
Yep.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what?
Come on.
Add it up,
Yeah.
euro,
Shout out to everybody. Salute to the mods.
I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only
Stack 'em.
car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what?
I want Mason
Told her
Royal.
if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.